Hello, gang. Welcome to Sketching with Izzy. Hopefully, you all can see me and hear me. I am having legit super fun computer problems, so let me know if you can hear me and see me. I've been having Vivaldi's been crashing, and so has Chrome. So I don't know what the hell's going on. Dude, Cameron, welcome. The Cirque, you can hear and see me. Oh, good. Phew. That is very frustrating. I've had Photoshop now crash and both Vivaldi and Chrome crash on me. Boy, I hope things work. Nimless DK, welcome. Glad you're there. So we'll go and we'll try and paint. I've already had one blue screen today. Fingers crossed things will work. Naomi, how's it going? Hope you're okay and had a great weekend. How's everybody doing? Let's catch up a minute here. Fucking trying to get my shit to work. Just, stressful. So we're just going to continue this painting. That's the plan for now. Chill a bit. Long work day. Yeah, hopefully. But I mean, to be frank, since I've built this machine, I've been having problems. It's just a constant irritation. Yeah. This is about where we left off, I think. We're finally working on the figure. You're lost in the ending cycle that humans call life. Cool. That sounds good, dude, Cameron. Glad to hear it. I think. Yep, my Vivaldi is crashing again. Look at that. Ah, so fun. I love it. Well, I'm just going to keep going until Photoshop. If Photoshop crashes, that's that. That's our day. Ugh, super annoying. I hate it when last minute shit goes wrong. It's the worst. So I need to get some darks going. Dude, Cameron, what's your question? And for those of you that were here on Thursday, the poem is up now on the Insta poem is up on the Discord. In case you haven't seen it yet. Why do I give so many of my male characters a hairline that falls far back, as far back as the Nazis invading Russia? Let's see some examples, I guess. I don't know what you're talking about in terms of the hairline. Sound a little triggered there, dude, Cameron. Everything all right? Which guy? Oh, you're talking about the black guy? That was a character design that's specific to him. He's actually balding. No, I designed him to have a more sort of graphic shape on purpose for his hair. I didn't design Kratos. That wasn't my original design. Um, but that is an interesting thing. Kratos was a real toss-up when they first launched that character because in some cultures, baldness in men is considered weak, and there was some issues there. Yep, Charlie Wen drew it on a napkin. That's very true. Charlie's a really cool guy. Let me dusk. Hello, Avid. Hi. Thanks for the lean in, gang. In Greek myth, all the heroes have this long flow of hair. In Greek myths, according to the illustrations that are more modern, if you look at some of the Greek myths, if I remember right, like some were considered like some weren't all like flowing angelic forms. If I remember, there was one telling where Achilles was bald, and the same with what's his name, Agamemnon, not having hair. Because Agamemnon, the whole point of that story was Agamemnon being the original husband to Helen was, or Helena, was that he was unattractive and old. Bald Achilles is going on your future band names list. Awesome. Yeah, it's sort of like a blonde-haired, blue-eyed Christ. Something just kind of happens. It's a cultural zeitgeist, but that is not necessarily accurate. Jaffe copied DMC when he made Dante, but Kratos having hair just wouldn't have the same. It's true. Which one is Dante? Are you talking about? Is that the one where it's a retelling of Paradise Lost? Oh, just straight DMC, the main character, Dante. Okay. Because there was a Paradise Lost game that was also sort of a DMC-like, sort of, not a rip, but certainly inspired by gameplay-wise. I never actually played it. I did love the character design and the creature design in it, though. I did watch plenty of that. Right up my alley. You got to do what you got to do, Avid. The animation that came with it was perfect. Oh, nice. Notice Japanese action games tend to not be rooted in stories or mythology. They tend to create their own. I don't know about that. I think that a lot of them draw really heavily from mythology and then kind of do their own take on it. A great example of this, it's not just games, but just any storytelling in particular. But one great example that I always liked was Neon Genesis, Evangelion. That one is very heavily based on Old Testament and Jewish stories and mythologies. And I remember when I first started watching it, I was so blown away with all of the stuff that they hinted at. And I ended up being kind of disappointed because then they kind of pulled the chute at the end and didn't really commit all the way to making a statement in terms of the religious aspect, but I got to give him respect for using really not commonly used mythology at the time. Oh yeah, Japanese mythology is very rich. They don't need to borrow from others for sure. So a lot of the things that you may think of as being original are actually very heavily influenced by Japanese mythology on its own. There's tons of stuff. Yeah, Naomi, I'm playing. I finally got my hands on Ghosts, and I'm loving all of the history in it. It's so great. That is definitely a love letter, if ever I've seen one. You've never seen the art direction? Or you've never seen Neon Genesis? The thing is, gods in Japan and spirits is not the same as they are treated in the West. It's a fantastic topic to discuss and such. Meaning that they're not... that nobody necessarily worships or anything like that, because that's not true. There are still people that leave out, snacks for the spirits, the forest spirits and things like that. I can never remember the name of the little things. Yeah, Japanese mythology is dope. Yeah, Musashi. That's an interesting one. Yeah, a samurai so badass he just stopped bathing himself. I do like that. I'm trying to decide whether or not this is going to be a scapula forward or deltoid. I can't be sure. I don't know. Let's not worry about it yet. I do got to think about the insertion for that robot bits. Ghost of Tsushima. I think even the Japanese magazine said, "Why didn't we make a samurai game like this?" Yeah. They did a great job. And I'm loving playing it. Like, I'm playing it super samurai. Like, as hard as I can. I'm going with the Bushido code. And I'm loving that they encourage fighting cinematically like Japanese cinema. That it's got that super strong Kurosawa feel to it. So I'll be standing, I will walk up to a Mongolian stronghold, call them out, and then I'll just stand and wait for them to come to me. And I just beat everybody's ass. It's so awesome. I bow to everybody. The game is great. It's so fun. I'm loving discovering things in it. I am full on role playing as a samurai with that game, and I am all in. It's definitely one of my favorites in a long time. You know what? I don't want to deal with these. Fuck it. Sometimes you just kind of say screw it and move on with your life. Cool. Works for me. Donkers, welcome. Yeah, we're having fun, providing we don't have blue screens or anything. That's our goal today. Which layer would you like to rename, dude Cameron? Yeah, you're confusing taking liberty with the mythology with creating their own Japanese. Oh, Japanese tend to take more liberty than the Western developers, like you said with Evangelion. Yeah, or Evangelion, whatever. I could see that. Yeah, being able to take liberties with Western mythologies, I think is pretty great because, from my experience with a lot of Eastern culture made media where they're pulling from Western mythologies and Western storytelling, I don't know, they're willing to just kind of take those risks, which is dope. Like replacing angels with mechs. That's badass, man. The one I used to cover up my lazy is called Lies. We can do that. Lies. Done and done. Beastonian, thank you so much for the follow. Appreciate that. Glad you could join us today. Layer 36 is now Lies. Whenever you tell people you love Japanese culture, they think you mean anime, which isn't the case at all. Yeah, I could see that, especially like back in the day, like when I was a kid. What was this? Reaction China to Kung Fu Panda? Yeah. Do they have a whole bunch of copies of Kung Fu Panda? That's amazing. So honorable. I tried to watch Adventure Time. I've actually tried a few times. I've watched most of the first season. I think actually I may have seen all of the first season, and it wasn't for me. I'm not the audience, I don't think. I love the shit out of Steven Universe, though. I think I dig narrative a little too much, and for me, Adventure Time felt a lot of times like abstract surrealism. As I understand it, it started to like get into pretty heavy narratives later on, but I didn't go that far. I got bored with it. When you played the first God of War, you almost wish they made it more futuristic settings. Interesting. I'm sure that there are some games. Well, actually, wasn't there? What was it called? It was the Journey to the West, sort of future cyborg reboot, and it definitely was more futuristic and had a very similar combat system, the DMC-like. Devil's Nemesis, welcome, hello. Wizards will be turning Kamigawa into a potential future Japan sci-fi set. Really? I did not see that. You liked it? Blanca, thank you for the follow. I'm glad you could join us. Enslaved, that's the one, thank you. Yes, Ninja Theory made the DMC reboot of Enslaved, or the DMC reboot when, what was it, DMC? I think it was they just called it Devil May Cry when it was like a younger version of Dante. Enslaved was an interesting game, but the execution was not great. Nah, that's too bad. How destructive is the change of color thing with the points? I don't think it's terribly destructive. You're just going to tell me a color that you want, and I'll try and find a place to introduce it. Surprisingly easy. I will have to remove that because it needs to go into the wheel of it is in the wheel of direction, and I didn't want to double it up. I haven't gone through and cleaned up the rewards lately. I know that I'll be moving some things around for sure. No, I'll try and honor the full color change. I'll do my best. It's sort of like basically the idea that I was going for was to kind of show you what it's like to have an art director lean in and have an opinion. And that was before, I think I introduced that before I added the wheel of art direction, which came later. And the wheel of art direction has one of those in it. The idea is just to show you how you can kind of take feedback and implement it without being overly destructive. So that's kind of the point, really. I think. Kind of a chaps thing going on with this pants style. Like some kind of work pants. You enjoyed the DMC reboot? I actually just watched my friend play it for a little while. I never did get to play it myself. Artistic direction of DMC reboot is pretty good. Could have been an alternate universe for the franchise. Yeah, they did something similar. Not Ninja Theory. It was Ubisoft, I want to say, that did the reboot, like the total stylistic and gameplay reboot of Prince of Persia, and that was pretty fun. I did like it. I thought there were some really cool characters in it. The UI was pretty great. It's been a long time since I played, so a grain of salt, that bad boy. You started to do digital art differently thanks to me? First time you didn't start with outlines. Really, Devil's Nemesis? How was it? Walk us through it. How'd it go? I think we're going to get rid of this tie now, since it's not necessarily a halter. Alessandro Taini, art direction and style really defined Ninja Theory's games Heavenly Sword, Enslaved, and DMC. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I remember really liking the art for Heavenly Sword. By the time I did play it, though, even though I was working on a God of War game, I was already tired of QuickTime Event gameplay. And I remember Heavenly Sword had a bunch in it. But really cool styles. I think the closest thing, and then I even liked it better, was that came along later was Horizon Zero Dawn, which I adored. I'm excited for that sequel. I'm definitely play the hell out of that one. Anybody get their hands on the PS5? All of my friends that have one have whole posts gloating about it. It's hilarious. Lucky. To be fair, a lot of those cats work at Sony, so they damn well better get one of them early. have no idea what those are going to be, but such is life. Ooh, another thing I just started was Umbrella Academy. I hadn't seen it before. I'm super digging that too. I'm only a few episodes in, but it's my jam. Part of me wishes that I was like a teen right now, because there's so much shit that I would love. Young Izzy would have adored these things. I'm jealous of all the kids with the cool stuff. Interesting. My chat box on the... This is awesome. Just so much shit isn't working. My chat box on OBS isn't working now. Can you guys confirm if you guys are actually hearing and seeing me? I have no idea what's going on now. I think... Oh, OBS crashed.